Hey Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby Dooby Doo, Scrappy Dappy Doo, Puppy Power, Blank and Shaggy Too. And you've got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. I'm your host, Harold Sullivan. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, stop. This technology. Oh my goodness. But hope everybody's doing good. Hopefully the camera set there good. It was wiggling a little. Been going through little things lately here. But I'm doing good. And we got an interview coming up here. And we're going to talk about some Marvel Universe, a couple other things. I'm just being aware in case the camera goes to fall over. I got it tilted back on the remote. In case y'all haven't tuned in, I've been blind for about 3 years now. I was born with an autoimmune disease. Wasn't supposed to make it long, but hey, you know what I mean? You can't uh, you can't rate the soul, with odds or science or numbers. So, and the heart and the soul. Well, they call it heart, but it's really soul. So, and then, yeah, I just got a new coordinator with the UPMC. And this one calls me up and starts throwing things at me, like verbally. I'm like, what is it with people? So I was like, I'm not even going to speak to you. Get me another one. I mean, you're supposed to build a rapport with these people so they can help you do things and get things you need. But they call you up like a freaking litigation attorney, throwing things at you. I asked her for a few things to help me with, just like I have for like 7 years now in a row, pretty much. And I went through at least 20 some 30 coordinators with UPMC. And that's no exaggeration. Because after a few months of them not even calling back or doing anything, I'm going to ask for another one. Now it's like, if I talk to you once and you come at me a certain way, I can tell you're not going to help me or do something. So she's basically like, well, I'm too far away, or I can't do this or none of that. And, well, then, give me someone else, you know. But it's just, I was just asking for things I need help with, and she was just coming at me with things that other people have said instead of, which is a HIPAA violation actually too. So she violated HIPAA too because she's not supposed to. If she does listen or hear things other people say about me or it has to do with me, she's not supposed to tell me that, and she's not really supposed to discuss any of my stuff with anybody else either. So, so she did that already. But anyway, I talked about a book about a pyramid. The book was called Outwitting Tomorrow recently, and inside the pyramid, I guess it told the future about 1,000 years or thousands of years. And I think I said it was hundreds of years before, but it's the Pyramid of Giza. Very fascinating, though. It's on audio though and regular. It's called Outwitting Tomorrow, and I talked about this with Chris a little bit, but I want to mention this a little bit more, and then we'll talk about it more with Chris in the future, probably, maybe on audio. I'm not sure because I haven't told him, but actually Peter Jackson wrote a Nightmare on Elm Street script years ago before he became real famous. He did The Frighteners, which was kind of scary with Michael J. Fox. Whenever Michael J. Fox had came back out of retirement, one of the first times after Back to the Future and a bunch of other movies, uh, and it was about ghosts, The Frighteners, and so Peter Jackson actually tried for Nightmare on Elm Street, and this was back before Freddy's Dead, I believe. Might even have been before Part Five, and it was had the Dream Police in it, and it was just crazy. And it was like this organization that made sure that like they kind of patrolled the dreams, and then Freddy wasn't scary anymore because kids just didn't fear him. So they used to go in their dreams and just on purpose just to mess with Freddy. He became like this bum, and then But then something happened, and one of the kids got killed, and then they started being afraid again, and Freddy got his power. So it was a way to introduce Freddy again. But it had all kinds of just other stuff, and it was different. So it was something about Dream Police. If you all want to check it out, I read the script years ago online. Uh, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Marvel Supernatural Pyramid Dream Police.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop. Okay, we're gonna talk. How about some Supernatural? Some of my favorite episodes of Supernatural. That TV show was on 15 years, and I learned so much about that. Believe it or not, I learned a lot about Bible stuff and religion because a lot of that show was based on things, and then it just took, and made TV out of it. But you see, the best movies and one of the rules in writing and stuff is if you make 75, 80, 90%, of something uh, believable, then the rest of it's believable, kind of. I guess that's like that in real life too. So say you take a story like Supernatural, where 80% of it is like just a show, but then the other 20% is killing monsters or this and that or hunting something, and then you get into it more. And so they add the little things like religion, Bibles, weapons. Like the first blade. I believe it was Samson that actually took the jaw of an ass in the Bible. They say, and he slew 1,000 men with it. And these are things that are in the Bible, and they put in Supernatural. And unless you're a huge fan, you wouldn't pick up like the name Mara, Sophia. I think Sophia's in there, but they call her. It's the darkness in there, and Supernatural is God's sister, but in some religions, Sophia is her name, and she's the mother, and Jehovah is the father, and then Jesus is the son. So there's many things in Supernatural, but favorite episodes. Oh, there's an episode where they went into a reality where they were playing themselves on a TV show. There was one where they were changing channels. It was actually called Changing Channels, where they were in Knight Rider and a couple other TV shows. There was one where they were in monster movies, which was called Monster Movies, with like a vampire and different. Let's see, there's just so many. There was one of the first episodes. I think it was called Highway to Hell, where spoiler, a girl didn't know she was dead the whole time. She was a ghost haunting this road, and then but they didn't let you. The way it was shot was Sam and Dean were on this hunt, but they didn't let you know that she was hunting them. They kind of went along with it, with her, and discovering things, so they could get to a different part of the story. That was neat. And then they did the Bloody Marys. They did the Monster of the Week, they call it, but that for the first so many years. And then they brought in angels and demons. And I didn't think that was going to be good, but it was pretty. And then they actually did a Scooby Doo cartoon episode, which they were rumoring about for a long time. My body's bothering me with the pain today, but it was funny. And they were supposed to actually bring in a Jason, Friday the 13th type character, but I guess they couldn't get the rights at the last minute. And that episode turned out to be called Dream a Little Dream, and it had a guy in it who was killing people in their dreams with this tea, African dream tea, kind of like Freddy. So maybe that was a double wink. It was almost a Jason, but then it was a Freddy episode. So there's so many episodes, 300 or 200 something episodes over 15 seasons. And they're all great. The beginning ones with Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the father, in his book, he has a little journal, and that's when they're discovering things. I mean, later on, they pretty much know so much they have to bring in more and more crap. But I like the early seasons with that. Some of the characters, of course, everybody loves Crawley. He's a demon or whatever. And then the guy that plays the Lucifer, I actually had him on my podcast here. I had a couple of Supernatural, so go check them out. A couple cast members, sorry, motorcycle called by, uh, cameos on previous episodes of the podcast. You can check them out. Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78 TikTok, Harold Sullivan period 35 Facebook. You can call the show 724-513-1472. If you want to be a guest or you have anything to say, audio or video. A lot of people just want to do audio, so we'll just record that, add it in later, or we appreciate comments, share, likes, follow, whatever. We just love's the choice, and so is the hate. And everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover. We talk about everything on here. People just want to get something out, even catfish stories. If you did something or someone else did something, it's never too late to get it. Come clean, feel better. That's the best way to feel. So, how about some Marvel movies now? What are they up to? Black Widow now, which, oh my goodness. I was a fan of the original, more or less. She was an older creature, not younger ones. I don't know how they're turning it around. I guess there's more than one lady now. I'm not sure how they do. But the last few, the TV shows I haven't really done too much of. But and now we actually have Deadpool, which is going to be entering it. So, but Marvel actually, there's a reason why they only have certain characters. When they first got the rights to their movies, they didn't have any money, so they started selling off Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and so that's why they haven't brought them in until lately, so recently. And Marvel's first few movies were actually Howard the Duck, and then Blade were the first two kind of successful. Blade really took off, and then they were like, okay, we can do this now. And before that, though, they did. There was a Fantastic Four movie that you can find. Roger Corbin or Corman, I'm not sure. I think it's Corbin is how you pronounce it. But he was known for doing low budget movies back in like the 70s and 80s. And so they got him to do a Fantastic Four, but it was never released. So, and then I didn't even know it was actually a Doctor Strange back in the 70s or 60s, but these were like low budget TV type movies, and a Spider Man and that. But as far as the Marvel Universe, yeah, X Men was a different company. That movie came out, was big, and they still haven't got the X Men back into the Marvel yet. They got Spider Man though, but that's because they're loaning the rights from Sony, so it's kind of like a joint deal. That's how they were able to bring in. But they're going to buy back their characters slowly once they start getting all that money. And of course, Stan Lee, was it. Recently, and then I found out um, Zach Levy was actually in the running for Star Lord. Nobody wanted to get Chris. What's his name? Klein, is it? There's so many Chris's right now, but nobody wanted to get that dude. And from Parks and Recreation, and he wasn't really in shape for that. But he went and got in shape and came and showed. I guess he sent a picture of his abs, or he went an audition without a shirt. I don't know. But he got the Star Lord, and he was great. Nobody wanted Robert Downey. There was a big stink about Edward Norton, I guess, because he wanted to take creative control too much on the set. And so, plus they didn't want to pay him. They thought he was replaceable. So that's why he wasn't the Hulk after the Incredible Hulk. But I liked him. He reminded me more of their Hulk from the TV show, Bill Bixby. And there was actually a Hulk movie before that called The Hulk, Ang Lee directed, with Eric Bana playing Hulk. And I don't. It was Marvel. It was a Marvel movie, I think, but uh, it just bombed, and so they don't even count it. But it was out like 5 years before the other Hulk. So, and then they took all kinds of chances, like getting Samuel L. in there, and then signing him to 9 picture deal, right? But they put him in there and trying to set a whole universe up, just like putting all these little things like Captain America's shield and making all these connections in these movies, and they didn't know whether they were going to be able to keep the actors or who they were even going to sign. They didn't even know who was going to be Thanos, but they threw him into one movie. They didn't cast um, James Brolin until later. So I mean, Marvel, and there was a guy named Fag who kind of took all this over, and he was working like in a mailroom, and he made his way up, and then put this universe together. And then, of course, with the Avengers, I mean, one of the best, if not the best superhero movie of all time. And they really got to jump on DC. DC was always my favorite with Superman, and but Marvel had the best characters. But DC had like Superman, Batman, all of them, Joker, of course. But and the Justice League was to me was disappointing. So they went the wrong way, and Marvel just geniuses. So yeah, we're gonna do this. We got interviews coming up, and I love y'all. We'll be back soon. Like I said, love is a choice, and so is the hate. couple months ago. If people want to check it out, it's episode 144 of the podcast, Trials and Tribulations. And this is when this caregiving agency lady basically busted in here and told me I wasn't blind and called me a liar, and she said that all the stuff about me that wasn't true. Like, she was violating the HIPAA, first of all, saying that my coordinator told her this information about me. And then I was reporting to her about my brother-in-law not doing his job because they pay him and they know he's clocking in and not doing it. You know what I mean? He just sits there on the couch all day.
Yeah.
And I'm getting tired of it. But when I cut the hours down, they put me outside like an animal. So I really can't do nothing except for going to an old folks home right away, and I ain't going to do that. So God will get me where I got to go. But anyway, I filed against this lady because she came in here talking crap to me. You know, like, what did she say? First of all, she said that I'm not allowed to fire my brother-in-law. I can't hire a different agency. She was like trying to tell me what I was what my rights are, what I can and can't do. And then, because I had called her because I was waiting for 3 hours for my breakfast because he walked out and wouldn't come back and help me, because that's how he is. So when I called her and complained on the phone, you know what she did? She started yelling at me, and then she's like, "You're gone." Like, I don't know what that meant. She threatened me. And then she showed up here at their door a couple minutes later. This is the lady that is running the agency that pays him. And she was with her sidekick, another lady.
Yeah.
And I said, "Don't come in," right? And I got the audio recorder. I still got the evidence because I turned it on. She said, "I don't care. I'm coming in anyway." And she came in, pushed my door open. You know, you could just open the door and come in because I don't have it locked because I'm disabled and blind. I can't open it. So, but I told her don't come in, so that's it, right? You don't come in. That's the end of it. Well, she came in anyway, right? She came in anyway. For 30 minutes, she sat there talking crap to me. She wouldn't let me eat. I finally got my food because he went in and put it in the microwave. And all I wanted was a breakfast bowl. I mean, how hard is that, right?
Yeah.
But he does it for, you know, for attention. Just negative things and then screams and yells like you did something. So she came in anyway and was talking all this stuff to me about how I can't get caregiver, stuff that's not true and she don't know nothing about. And then, like I said, she said I wasn't blind. And you know, when I turned around and I was trying to find a way, she wouldn't shut the door. They opened my door up. They wouldn't close my door. They wouldn't leave me alone. She said that she had all day she was going to stand here with me and bother me. Just very unprofessional. You know what I mean? And then when I turned around to try to find the door to move, she's like, "Oh, he ran into me. He's assaulting me." And she had her buddy call the police.
Oh, wow.
And I looked, the police came down there. But they didn't even come in and talk to me. They didn't do nothing. But she basically sent me, tried to, you know, provoke me. That's why she said, "You're gone." Because she set that up. "Oh, I'm going to go over there and try to get him to do something. And then if he touches me, I'm just going to say he assaulted me and have him arrested." Like, it's that easy. Like, why is this lady... But in the meantime, if you arrest me, my brother-in-law can't get paid if I'm in jail. So I don't know what this lady's deal is, you know. She's paying him, not knowing he ain't doing it, because I've called her before and reported it. She said they don't have anybody else they can send, and I just have to deal with it. You know what I mean? And that's not cool. Because what if one day he gets hurt and he can't lift me or something? Well, I have nobody, and my sister is at work, you know what I'm saying? So they don't think of that. They just think of, well, we want to get all that money for nothing, sitting on the couch. But anyway, I had to go to this meeting today in Pittsburgh, all right? 42nd floor. This is the second time because they didn't tell me about the first meeting. I told them, I said, "Don't send me letters in the mail. I don't get the mail. If they get the mail here, then my brother-in-law will open it and throw it away. He's not going to tell me about that, right?" So they called me finally and said, "Hey, there's the date and time." And I was lucky UPMC actually showed up, but they were an hour late coming back to get me. It's Jesus. Like, how can a bus company be an hour late when you have time to come back and still be in business? So anyway, I went to the 42nd floor. It was me by myself. They helped me, you know, they told me which way to go, left and right a little bit at a time. And I'd never been that high, seriously. It was scary, too. Because that elevator was going so fast, you know, it was like, shh. And then it was all made out of metal. It's called the Steel Tower, and people that are around the Pittsburgh area. It's like something from the Ghostbusters, like they made to open the Pandora's box to the other side. I'm serious, and I could feel the metal and smell it and taste it in there. It was like this big metal building. So I had to go up there in this courtroom. So I never experienced, these are two new things for me. I got to go 42nd floors up, and then I got to be at the head of the table, because I guess there was this long square table like the medieval days, and I was picturing it in my mind. And I was at one head, and there was like 4 people in there.
they had 3 or 4 people on Zoom, right? And they were recording all this with me, and they let me just talk. That lady wasn't there, or none of that. You know, and that's good because it ain't no courtroom. We would have been slinging. Because she was talking to me like I was her husband or something. She was here like throwing verbal assaults at me. You're like, wait a minute, lady. Well, what are you doing? I don't. That's unappreciative. She shouldn't be able to run an agency. And that's what I told them. I said, it ain't about me. It's about other people too that she might be being rude to, or who else. She can't be treating people that way. That lady had no right to come in there. She could have did whatever she wanted to me, right? And she was telling me I don't have any right to do this. I can't get rid of her. I can't fire an agency. I can't fire my brother-in-law. I can't do this. If I try this, they're gonna put me there, threatening me with all this stuff. That this lady is nothing. She's just she pays my brother-in-law to sit on the couch, literally, and they get 17 hours a day now. Right? They used to get 20 or 21, but they were doing that, and so I cut it down, and they threatened to throw me out again, which they can put me outside. You know, they've done it before. The cops will just say let him back in, but that's it. And what else, you know? And the house is in my mom's name still. She's been dead 7 years. But I don't have any way to do anything. When I went to a lawyer, I actually paid too to see a lawyer. He said it ain't worth nothing. So if I fought for the house, like what good would it do? But I said I need a place to live though. They can live anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
This house is made accessible for me, right? My mom lived here and she made this house ready. You've been here before, but they sold the elevator off the front of the house. Remember that lift that was there? It's a shame, man. All about money. You know, greed though, it's all sin. You know what? I'm getting to the point now. It really sounds crazy though. I can almost smell sin and I can feel dirt on people. Like it's gross. When I'm around people, I almost feel dirty. Like I don't know if that's angels or if that's how Jesus felt, but I can almost, I can just smell a sinner. I can tell. Ugh, ugh. Like especially my brother-in-law, my sister. I don't want to be that way, but literally I can just feel their dirtiness and their sin and their, I smell it like gross, you know, and it makes me feel dirty too, being around it. Ugh. Uh, it's for real energy, though. But I'm so sensitive now, I can actually pick it up, and it feels like it's getting dirt on me. Like, and you can't clean that with water. I got holy water too. I said, you know what? I got it here. I told somebody a few days ago. Literally, I got crystals. I got holy water. I got feathers. I got rock from my Arizona red rock. I got oak struck by lightning. I got a cross with Jesus. I mean, what else do I need in my room? uh, but it's negative energy and evil, you know. And it's not me, it's other stuff, and it's coming. It'll come at you. But yeah, I had to go all the way up there. I told them everything. I said, you know what? I just want, and they read to me back what happened for the last hearing, because the last one they did without me there, because nobody let me know. And they said, well, the coordinator offered you a way to find another place to live and alternatives for another agency. I said, that's not true. So they lied. They just, you know, and I said, if they would offer me another agency, I would have took another agency, and I wouldn't have to deal with this lady worrying that she might show up here any day now, anytime she wants, and just because she got away with it, she might just come in here and say something something else ignorant, or violate me and then walk out because the police won't do nothing. Literally, they don't even come and talk. They still haven't come about this other stuff here, which I'm going to talk about. I think I told you about when he threatened to punch me in the face, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, well, UPMC has the recordings because I was talking to the lady on the phone when he said it a few times, and he went in there and attacked the dog, and you could hear the dog screaming. And you know what? I can't get those without a lawyer. I got to get a lawyer to get those tapes, to use those tapes to try to press charges, because nobody will do nothing. Al Clipper won't even talk to me, and so I have to at least try to have evidence first, and that's messed up. You know what I mean? They opened the ball by calling the police. UPMC called them, but then they won't do nothing past that. They made a complaint. And then my brother-in-law got on me saying I called the police, and the police told them that I called. That's a lie, first of all. I don't even have their number in the phone. I can't call them. I don't have their number programmed in. And he called me a liar for that. But I don't need to call them. I've dealt with them. I know they ain't going to do nothing. The only way Aliquippa police will do something is if he actually did hit me and cause me like bodily harm. But then that's too late. You know? Why wait for that? Threatening somebody isn't any good? Why can't... If another man threatens you, Couldn't you press charges on that? Why not?
Yeah.
Well, why won't they listen to me?
I don't know, Joe.
Oh man, I'm 45 years old. So that's where I'm at. I filed a grievance against that lady. I said I just don't want that to happen to anybody else. Yes, find me another agency. If they could find me a place to live, I'm looking for assisted living, where I can go, pay rent, and then have my own people come in and care for me. Anybody I want. You know what I mean? And then get paid like a real job. I don't want to live in an old folks home and rot away with 80 years old people that don't do nothing but watch TV.
Yeah.
You know, who wants that? Do you want that? Nobody
Yeah.
does. And I don't want all my money taken away from me. I don't want to not be able to do nothing. I won't be able to buy my medicine. That's my medical marijuana. That's my medicine. That's the only thing I have. It's messed up if I was on pain pills and that though. Those are free. But they,
We come from Pittsburgh, Joey.
huh? I got the UPMC vehicle.
New notification
Yeah.
from
Oh,
Outlook.
what is that?
New Sirius XM.
Oh yeah.
Public address loudspeaker. Get Sirius
Wow.
XM service for
Sirius.
$5/M.
I got rid of. I had Sirius for the longest time,
Start streaming
and I got rid
Sirius
of them
XM
because I got
to
YouTube
the
Music,
web browser. Come back
and they
to
just
even
constantly
better
send me
results.
junk email.
We
And
listen.
I call these places and tell them not to
Subscribe
send
now
me
for
email,
details.
and we unsubscribe to email. They still send junk.
App only.
So every day,
$4.99 each month
my
for the
computer
first
reads out
12
all
months.
these junky emails like that
Credit card required.
constantly. I don't care.
Survey.
I don't want your service.
Actions.
I don't care if it's $1.99 a month or not. I can't afford all these bills I'm ending up with. I'm renting a computer for $100 a month from Rent Center, man. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jesus, I got 2 years to pay for that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, trials and tribulations. I made it here once. I got another grievance against this bus driver that I got coming up. Did I tell you about the medic rescue guy that called me a baby and told me he's going to take the long way on purpose?
Yeah.
So now I filed a grievance against them, and I'm going to show up to that one too, because that's important. That guy don't need to be ignorant. He turned on the radio, and then so the camera couldn't hear him.
Remember Lenore?
Yeah, that guy's nice, but I haven't got him for a long time. This guy's like, I'm going to take the long run on purpose, and saying just. So yeah, I'm not playing that. I'm learning. You know what? You got to take charge of your life and make it the way you want it to be, and you can't have no excuses. You can't be like, well, this person made me know I'm a failure because of this other person.
Yeah.
People could get in your way, but it's just the way you take it. Overcome it. That's what I'm looking at. My family is my way. I got to overcome. It's my thing, right? And then once I do that, I can do anything. It's just getting hard. Being blind is the hardest thing. But dealing with people that constantly want to be mean to you for no reason, man. I mean, Jesus. And the more I pray them to them, it's like they hate it, like they're burning up, like Satan. Like they're melting, you know. And I'm like, wow. But God bless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm gonna keep on helping people. I just talk to them. I tell them my story. I sat out there. Dude sat out with me. They were an hour late coming back to get me in Pittsburgh. The one guy sat there and I talked to him the whole time. Told him my story, about a lot about my stuff, about the podcast. I take the cards with me everywhere I go. I give out the podcast cards. Hey, if we have one person, you know what I'm saying? It ain't a competition. Life is not a competition. That's a Sullivanism I came up with recently. If you save one person, 10 people, it don't matter. Save somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So they actually said that in a new Flash movie, which I never dawned on me what it meant till now. People don't realize when they put message in movies.
Now, what part of Pittsburgh were you in today?
I don't know. I think it was right downtown though. They said this is like one of the biggest buildings in Pittsburgh, or the biggest one.
Oh, 42. How many floors was it?
42, and it was scary just coming down. Going up it wasn't. I figured coming down it would be. It was like landing an airplane. If you ever flew, when you come down, you hit that boop boop boop, and then you're okay. But for a second, you think it's going to be BAM! And I've actually been stuck in a few elevators. I've been close to death, 30-some times. And I've been in an elevator almost that crashed. I've been in one that got stuck. And then I was in one that was closing on me in the Amber's Towers, right? I dropped my fanny pack inside the elevator, and I didn't want it to get out because the elevator was closed and went whatever, and somebody would have got my stuff. So I tried to leave the elevator, just peek out, and the door closed halfway on me. And it kept smashing me. It would not open all the way so I could get in or out, literally. Oh my gosh. And it hurt because it's strong, the elevator door, and it kept saying, please remove restriction. And I'm like, I'm in the way, it's me. Nobody's around. And then finally, after a couple of minutes of it banging back and forth against me every time I tried to go back in the elevator, it finally opened up and let me back in. And then it went up and somebody got in and I was like, can you hand me my bag, please? But I had to worry if this person just takes my stuff and runs, you know. I'm in an apartment building. And they got cameras in there, but that's why I wanted to get back in the elevator. You know what I mean? If I left the elevator with my bag in there, that'd have been it. So I was all but yeah, I've been stuck in a couple, and they're death traps elevators. But I did that, man, and I was at the head of the table, like I joked. And it was neat because they were swearing. They weren't swearing in like in court, but they were explaining this person has a vote, this person has a vote. I don't know what they're voting on. And then there was people on the camera, on the computer, on the other end that weren't there. And it sounded to me like 4 or 5 white people and a black gentleman, maybe a younger black gentleman, just by their voices. Yeah. And there was like 2 votes to 1, and the other 2 didn't have any. They were just there for some reason. So, but I got to tell my whole story, and I didn't just say that. I said way more than that because they needed to know what led up to it, right? They didn't need to just know that lady busted in there. They needed to know. I called her several times, well, 2 or 3 times over the like past year before that. Just every couple months to complain and say, hey, he's not doing his job. Please do something or send somebody else there.
Yeah, you might as well just stay with your brother or sister, man, because...
Well, that's who I got. That's what I'm saying. He's the one not doing his job.
You can let it go, Joe. Just forget about it.
Well, I am until I got somewhere better to go, but it's what can I do? Literally, if he gets me up at 9 o'clock and just sits me in the wheelchair, and then he starts screaming and yelling at me, walks out and just leaves me in the wheelchair, what am I going to do? I need help, and he does, and I can't say nothing to him because that'll be a reason to walk out. And if I don't, he'll just make up something or just have some stupid reason to, and then he'll just say that I was starting on him, so he walked out of the room. But that's not true. And if he walks out, then I just ask him to clock out. He can clock out so he don't get paid for that time. But he won't do that because it's just he don't care. It's all about money. You know? And I never wanted them. I had people when I came back here, but they were ignorant. He was mean to them, so they didn't want to come back. And then it was like I had to have them signed on. I need somebody, or I'll be threatened to put in a home somewhere. That's always the thing. If I don't have someone to care for me, the government's going to try to say, well, I need to go somewhere. And that's not cool because my brain's not gone. There's nothing wrong with that. And nobody should have that right over someone else, you know, to tell them what they can and do and how to live and wear this and eat that and go this, come here, and you can't have this friend or that friend. You know what? It's my life. Like Bon Jovi. It's my life. It's now or never. But you got some good news, at least a little bit, right? You got to see your daughter finally.
Yeah, I got to see her.
Okay.
Come over and hang out for about 3 hours.
Has it been a long time, a year or 2? Or more?
It's been about 2 years since I've seen her.
Jesus, okay. Well, that's very good, though, because, I mean, now you have that open thing, hopefully, there. Does she look different?
I still got anxiety real bad, but I'm working with my doctor. I got a new doctor, so...
I've been having that, too, though, man, and I've been hearing on TV about the people with the shots and that, like you said you've been getting, but that stuff wears off. And I just got to deal with it, man. It's so hard, but it's in you, really. You just, if you can be calm inside no matter what, then you win. So, but you got to literally have the place burning down around you, and you're just chilled. And it's so hard because doesn't it feel like that? The world's burning down around you, and you're like dancing around, like in Back to the Future when the dude was shooting at his feet and he was moonwalking. You know, because it feels like you're on fire, like all the time. I feel that too, and I didn't believe that was a real thing, man. But it's all energy. If you can learn inside, just calm down, then you won't need no medicine no more. But we got to get there though. That's the hardest thing. But I guarantee you, because I've been working on it. I'm at that point now. And if that dude could be spitting in my face and threatening to punch me, I put my face in front of him. You know what I mean? Go ahead, and I'm completely calm, right? It don't matter to me one way or the other. Because he needs help, that's what I'm saying. But I don't think that's going to get him help. That's just going to make him angrier. Oh, he put me in jail now. That's all he thinks of. I'm trying to do something to him. I just want the dude to get help. He needs to get off the drugs and all the other things, whatever it is that he's doing, and get clear. Because he hates everything and everybody all the time for no reason. And there's no way to be that way. We're made to be the exact opposite. We're supposed to love it. Huh?
Who does that?
My brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
We're,
drugs?
Well, yeah, I know he's on at least pot, but that don't do that. It's got to be pills, crack, something else. Yeah, I've been telling him that for years, for his own good. I think he's on crack because it smells like that in the kitchen. But
Yeah.
it smells like metal and glass burn. And I used to hang out in the towers, or in Emirates, in Roosevelt back here, and a couple people, and they smoked, and I know what it smells like.
Yeah.
And he's always starving. I can hear his stomach growl, but he won't eat. And that's drugs, right? That's bad drugs, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because you eat, but when you're so hungry that your stomach growls and you don't eat, he never eats. That's bad.
Yeah.
And his fingertips are all messed up, and his teeth, and that's what people that are using pipes and other stuff. Like, I don't know. I tried to figure it out because I just been trying to. He's been married to my sister for 30 something, almost 35 years, and I just always thought that something was wrong with him. But I want to help people. I don't believe there's things wrong with people, but I can't. I done what I could. Now I got to do me. I got to live. I can't save him. I can learn by he can learn by example, my example, but he thinks everything I do and say is a lie, and I'm the anti this and anti that. But like I said, if you don't believe in anything, then what am I the anti of?
Yeah.
Every time I put on the Bible, because I'll put on the audio Bible if he's in there cussing at me, I'll turn it on, and he gets really upset and angry at it and says that I'm fake and all this. And I say, you know what? 13 times now I just started through the audio Bible since we mentioned that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm about a quarter of the way through now. I think I just went through Ruth. There's a lot of little books in there, like Ruth,
Yeah.
the book of Ruth. Dan is in there too, right?
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel. I was just telling people about the names in Star Wars, right? Everybody knows about Luke, right? The name Luke in the Bible was in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then Leia is actually in the Bible. The name Leia. And then a lot of people don't know about Anakin. Now there was a group of called Anakins in the Bible, and Anakin was Luke's dad in Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker. So I know George Lucas, that created Star Wars, was into spiritual stuff because the Force is basically Buddha and energy and Reiki and all that. And so I'm sure he was in the Bible and religious, and he got those names from the Bible, which is so cool because the Bible has so much in it. Like I was saying. It doesn't just have verses and.
What have you been doing to keep you busy?
Huh?
Reading the Bible?
You have the Bible, doing these songs. Just finished Eloquent with Love. It's up
Praying
on
a lot?
YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, when I pray a lot, but I'm learning to pray differently and be different about things.
Okay.
Because check this out. There's a bigger thing going on, and you might pray. What if you pray for the wrong thing, or what if you pray for something that makes something bad for someone else? So you have to be careful what you want. And you have to ask for things the right way, or just be thankful after.
God's will, if it's in God's
Yes, and be thankful after what you receive. Don't be like, hey, I want $1,000,000. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, hey, God, I would like to be positive today. I'd like to be happy. Or even if you ask for that, you might be saying, well, protect me from something being negative. But then you could be forcing the negative thing on you, so you have to learn a lesson. So you have to be very careful how you word things too, because I was bringing stuff on myself probably, and because the energy doesn't work the way we like how we talk, and so you gotta just be careful for what you ask for, because the way you want might not be the best for you, and it might hurt someone else. So just make it simple,
Yeah.
Even when you want someone to be better or whatever, you were saying, which I ran into your mom, I wanted to let people know, and that was a nice experience. I'm going to get her that oil, though. We saw each other on the bus, or she saw me and I talked to her. But yeah, you want her to be better and you want to pray for her and all that. But you don't want to keep her here if it's her time to go. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to watch how you. But I'm just using that as an example. Of course, you don't want her to go anywhere. You want your mom to be here forever, just like you want to too. But you don't know what she's been through, right? She might be ready to go, but she's not because she's still going through. She's doing her treatments and all that because she wants to be here. But if y'all want to hear that story about Dan's mom in the past, how she saw Jesus and was in close to death, check out the previous episodes we got on there, right? So yeah, you saw she's good and you're doing better and you got a little anxiety, but is that because of that or that's it?
Yeah, it's just anxiety, dude.
In general, right? Yeah. And then we got that stupid Aurora Borealis thing going on
What's that?
because we just had a solar flare recently. A solar flare just exploded on the sun and
Yeah.
sent off a bunch of radiation. And then the Aurora Borealis, that thing that they should see up, down south is all the way up now. Like you can see it all the way up in New York, and it's because something ripped open. And I don't know if it's going to go back to normal or not, but it's one of them things with the Earth and the energy that if that happens big enough, it could just blow the whole planet away. And scientists can't do nothing; they won't even know when it's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm telling people, any day, appreciate your life more. Tomorrow, what if another sunspot goes? That's it, we're fried. They're not planning for that. Just like when the planet dies, we can't. Where are we going to go?
Yeah.
And then it takes too long to get to the next place. So Earth is it for now. And if we kill Earth and kill each other, there's no more. If we don't believe in aliens and no one believes there's any life anywhere else, then that's it, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. If these people here are done and we're all dead, we all died, then there's nothing, no more life. There's no more existence anywhere ever. That's sad to think about that. It's deep too, but people don't think about it. They just go about their life and just think about, oh well, I'm here for a minute and then I die. And that's what I want to talk about before we get off of here. That was another topic I brought up was death, and that's perfect going into it. A lot of people think when you die, that's it, man. The light goes out and there's no more you, and that boom. What do you don't believe that, right?
A lot of people think that whenever you die, you're dead. You no longer exist anywhere. Heaven, hell,
Nothing, yeah. Yep.
planet, anywhere. You don't.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're just the lights out.
Yeah.
The lights out and it's dark. I used to think that when I was a teenager.
And that's why you lived a different way, right? Because you could be crazy because it don't matter, right?
Yeah, I wasn't saved. Now I didn't know anybody to teach me any
See?
different. So
And now what?
you die.
Yeah.
You're done. You're buried. You're dead. And you can't do anything about it. It's just dark. You can't see nothing.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. Nothing is happening. You
Jesus.
just die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you step on a hand. You might break that hand.
Oh. Yeah.
But everything has a next life. Everything has
Oh
a
yeah,
next life.
reincarnate. I believe it all. They all have souls. People try to say animals don't have souls, right?
I don't believe in reincarnation. I believe
Oh, you know?
die.
Well,
Like, I believe in a lot of different things. A
yeah.
lot don't agree with me, so we won't even go there. But I do believe there's a purgatory. I believe whenever you die, you're going to have purgatory. You're going to die.
Yeah.
God's going to show you everything you did wrong. You can get it right again if you want to. You put what you want to do. You want to go to heaven. You start reading books. And in your death, you're reading books.
Yeah.
And then you put yourself to heaven. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people
Okay, you have a way you can make it better. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people think when you die, God judges you and He sends you to heaven.
See, that's a little bit different. Yeah, that's a little bit different. I mean, that is a theory, but I haven't heard.
You did mess up in life.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect, and everybody does mess up. Even
Redemption.
preachers mess up.
Yeah. So I tell people.
Every God sends you to like a sentence, like a jail sentence. It's
Yeah.
not like being in jail, but you have to make up to God.
Yeah. Yeah, we get chances. I believe everybody gets stuff. I did stuff when I was younger. That's why
You
Yeah.
say
we all do stuff.
14, 15, 16-year-old kid dies, that they're held accountable. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a glimpse of what life is about.
Yeah. If you don't know any better, then how can you know better?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I tell God all the time. Thank God that I know better.
We need to bow every tongue shall confess, but the whole thing is
Yeah.
those kids don't have that option. You know what I mean?
No, well, we didn't either. I mean, I did. Who was teaching me? Who was teaching you? You had your mom and that, but as far as like a thought, like your mom had to be everything, right? But
How much I don't know still,
yeah.
I will learn. I will understand. I will come to the full knowledge of God.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that the other day. How we got.
When I'm placed in heaven, I will be perfected. I will be
Yeah.
from God's eyes. I will
See.
be perfect in God's eyes.
We got better.
Live on this earth and die and be perfect in
Yeah.
God's eyes. But I will, it's everybody else that has a chance like I do.
Yeah.
Well, almost everybody has a chance in heaven.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Everyone can't be fixed, but they can all be saved. All right.
They said a murder, be a
Hey, Deanna, we're gonna end this here, but I'm gonna throw this idea out there about that because there's a couple ways you can say that. First of all, what if two people are fighting and one got a gun and the other one don't, and then the gun goes off accidentally and kills one? One still has to live with knowing he did that, but he didn't do it on purpose. But what's worse, the pain of him knowing that he killed his best friend, or going to jail? The pain of knowing what you.
Innocence too, Joe. We
So,
all have innocence.
and it was an accident too. So, but you're still going to go to jail for murder for us. So it's the pain we have inside is more pain and judgment than anything man could inflict on us. You know,
Yeah.
we have to deal with that. What we do. That's what I say. We're all one. You do to me, I do to you. You hurt me, it hurts you. Nobody's getting away with nothing, and and it's not a competition. There's no score. So, but we're going to end the recording of this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hang up with you. But love is a choice, and so is the hate, right?
Yeah.
Hold on.